Hey, this video is just to explain the skill selection used for the Explosive Grenade Psycho, otherwise known as a Reaper build as well. So this is using the Legendary Reaper class mod. This class mod is extending the team kill skill duration. It's doubling it, so instead of it only lasting 8 seconds, it's lasting for 16. It's got some really wonderful skills there. They are kill skills, but when you've got that extra duration, you can really make the most out of it. A lot of the points will go into the Bloodlust tree. The main ones here that you're probably looking at is Taste of Blood. This one will give you some damage reduction while you're in your Buzzax Rampage, but it'll also let you accumulate those Bloodlust stacks very quickly. So anytime you get a kill while you're in Buzzax Rampage, this will give you 45 Bloodlust stacks. So you can get to maximum 100 very quickly. Over here on the right, if you can get a kill with a melee attack, if you can get a kill with a gun, this will increase your melee damage, and at maximum stacks, that'll increase your melee damage by 500%, which is a pretty big boost. Moving down, if you can get a kill with a melee attack, this skill here, Feel the Blood, will increase your grenade damage by 100%. And it's useful to know that your thrown Buzz Axe counts as a grenade when it's got the Buzz Axe Bombardier, the dynamite strapped to the Buzz Axe. If you can kill an enemy with a grenade or an explosion, you'll activate Bloodbath, and Bloodbath will increase your weapon damage by 500%. That's a big boost, and unlike the Macromancer, you don't lose your accuracy, so you'll be able to kill enemies very quickly with that extra damage. The other beautiful thing about Bloodbath is if an enemy dies to a grenade or an explosion, it'll make them drop grenades. So with 10 points in this skill, there is a 150% chance that they will drop grenades. That means they are guaranteed to drop one grenade, and there is a 50% chance they may even drop a second one. There's 5 points in Boiling Blood here. That 2.5 seconds is just give you enough time after you kill an enemy to pick a new target, so you can hold on to those Bloodlust stacks while you're in combat. Outside of combat, you're still going to lose those stacks very quickly, so some people might opt to move this to Nervous Blood, but I haven't needed to do that. So I'm trying to keep my Bloodlust stacks at max. This is going to help me achieve that. And then we've got Bloodsplosion. So this takes overkill damage, any damage we deal to an enemy that wasn't needed, and it will multiply it depending on how many Bloodlust stacks we have. So it might increase that damage by 500%, and then it'll apply it to all the other enemies around the guy that died. So Bloodsplosion, this one works really well with a fastball because of the massive damage that the fastball does. You can get this to deal 90 million damage. At the moment I've only got one that does 89. But that fastball, when it explodes, deals massive overkill damage. You've got enemies around that guy slagged. They'll all blow up as well, and they will all drop grenades because they've all died to a grenade, so Bloodsplosion will activate. In the middle tree, this is just about increasing our weapon damage as much as possible with a little bit of extra hit points as well to keep ourselves alive. You're going to lose your shields no matter what, so you may as well beef your health up a little bit to keep you alive. Empty the Rage won't deal too much, it's just an extra 70% melee damage, so 20% plus you won't have shields, so another 50% melee damage there. With Embrace the Pain, the main thing we want here is the fire rate. Strip the Flesh is to increase our explosive damage. This build's all based around dealing explosive damage, so that extra 15% while we're up and running around is going to add up over time. Salt the Wound, so you can get some extra melee damage from that. You also get some extra shotgun damage, but I haven't been using shotguns. I tried playing with the Carnage, but I'm finding the Unkempt Herald's just really reliable, so I've just stuck to that. So the main thing we want from this skill is the melee damage. Silence the Voices, absolutely for the melee damage. As soon as you put a point in that, you may as well go all out because that self-attack chance is already present. So max that out for an extra 250% melee damage. It's a pretty big boost. And then you've got Release the Beast for more melee damage, bit of damage reduction, but this skill will also keep you alive when your health starts to dip and you can't get that fast kill. We have actually gone into the Hellborn skill tree just to get Fuel the Fire. This is because the class mod is giving us bonuses to this skill, and it's also because you don't need to be on fire to receive the benefits of this skill. So forget everything else in the Hellborn skill tree. We are not lighting ourselves on fire to get damage reduction from numb nerves or anything like that. This skill will work perfectly fine on its own without us using fire weapons to light ourselves on fire. And Feel the Fire works really well with Blood Twitch. Now, Blood Twitch has been criticized in the past for being relatively useless because it's a kill skill, only activates after you get a kill, only lasts for 8 seconds. If you don't need to reload in that time, then you don't get the benefit. But because we are extending the duration of our kill skills, this skill will be active for 16 seconds is a long time when you're running around killing things. You'll be able to use this skill no worries. So with Blood Twitch, you'll be able to swap to your slag weapon, and with Feel the Fire active, you'll be able to slag them very quickly. And then again with Blood Twitch, swap back to your Unkempt Herald or whatever weapon you're using to damage your enemies and kill them quickly. And you'll be able to just do this back to back, chain it very quickly. Check out the gameplay video, I'll show you how it's done. With blood-filled mags, this is a useful one to have just so you don't have to reload very often, and this is why I haven't needed Nervous Blood. I'm counting on the magazine sizes holding me through fights rather than needing to reload. There will be times when the fighting sort of dies down a little bit, and that's when it's a good time to check your weapons and reload them before you get back into things. So that's the build in a nutshell. The only thing I didn't talk about here is Thrill of the Kill. This will heal you for a percentage of the overkill damage, so that damage that was dealt to kill an enemy that was not needed. Because your damage output is so much higher than your own max health, you don't need a lot of points into this skill. In fact, the 5 points that your class mod gives you and the 1 point you've got to put into it to access those 5 points is more than enough. The skill will almost always heal me back to full. There is a couple of times when it fails, but when it fails, that's when I can just fall into Release the Beast to keep myself alive anyway. Because of the damage increases that you're getting to your melee damage, your gun damage, you already got some pretty good melee damage, and using the fastball for massive grenade damage. All of these sources will be healing you back to full no worries, so you won't need a lot of points in Thrill of the Kill. Hopefully that explains this class mod a little, this build a little bit. Using a slag weapon doesn't really matter what the slag weapon is, but look for something with a fast fire rate. With Feel the Fire active, the slag chance will be skyrocketing anyway, so it doesn't matter if it has a low slag chance, it just won't be multiplied by as much, but it'll still get a pretty big boost. But you don't want something that's slow shooting. You want to be able to whip it out, just spray some bullets and swap back in and trust that those bullets will slag. If you've got a sniper rifle or something, then you've got to take the time to aim, make sure that bullet lands, because the next one's not going to follow up so fast. So we don't want to lose, use something with a high fire rate so you don't have to wait for that next shot if it fails. Explosive weapons really handy. Having some melee damage on your weapon's not a bad idea because you can still use that bonus melee damage outside of Buzzsack's Rampage to get some kills to increase your grenade damage, which you'll be using outside of Buzzsack's Rampage as well. The Rough Rider for some extra health, some damage reduction. I still prefer the health relic on this dude to keep myself alive. You could swap that out for some bonus explosive damage if you want. This guy can run like a bit of a glass cannon outside of Buzzsack's Rampage and get those kills very quickly, or he can be a bit more of a tank when he is using Buzzsack's Rampage. And I think given that Release the Beast is such a lifesaver, you're probably better off bulking your health out to stay alive. Anyway, check out the gameplay video. It'll show it all in action. It'll repeat a lot of these messages as well, so you sort of know what you're looking at while you're watching the video. And give it a go. This is probably my favorite build for Krieg. It's a lot of fun just being able to melt people using grenades as a primary weapon, leveled right up to the overpower levels. As we started to overpower though, grenades were good for weaker enemies, but I needed other avenues to kill other dudes, and that's where really trying to make the most out of the Reaper class mod has really changed the game for this guy. So give it a go. I'm sure you will enjoy it.